Hi everybody, welcome to News Roundup number 145. It looks like the makers of Scotch whisky may need a little help from the Dutch. An article in the Daily Mail says that high demands for the drink in places such as China and Russia has led to claims that Scotland can't grow enough barley to keep up. And now, reports the Mail, a 30-strong cooperative of farmers in the Netherlands hope that their crops will help make up the shortfall. Whisky writer Ewan Duckett is quoted as saying that it is inevitable that Scottish producers will have to look abroad for barley. The London Marathon is always a big occasion, but for two competitors it had even greater significance. They got married halfway round. The Daily Express reports that Laura Harvey and Paul Elliott tied the knot at St Catherine's Docks near Tower Bridge, then set off on another 13 miles to complete the event. Everyone thinks it's a bit mad, but we wanted to do something different, said Paul. What a lovely thing. I was actually at the very first London Marathon when I used to live in London, and it's still just as much fun. An embarrassing moment for a marathon runner was highlighted in the Daily Mirror. Jason Matthews, who travelled from Wolverhampton to take part in the Manchester Marathon, couldn't remember where he had parked his car and spent hours wandering the streets around Salford Quays looking for it. Jason said, "I came back up with a friend on the following Sunday to look for it again. We spent the whole day driving around, but when we couldn't find it, I was resigning myself to the fact that it was gone." However, after reading about Jason's plight in a local newspaper, Adam Coppin searched for the missing Saab 93 Sport and eventually found it. I've lost my car in a car park before for a few minutes, but not for a whole week. A Daily Mirror story puts the spotlight on the annual Malden Mud Race, which takes place on the same day as the London Marathon. 300 runners in fancy dress took part in the 500-metre event, which involves competitors racing around the course through the thick mud of the River Blackwater in Essex at low tide. I can't think of anything worse, can you? I hope they've got good showers at the end. According to The Guardian, 2 self-portraits by the famous British artist Francis Bacon are going on public display for the first time after resurfacing in a private collection. The paintings will go on show at Sotheby's in London and New York before going under the hammer in July, and are expected to fetch £15 million each. Why? However good they are, why? It's too much. In another arty story, the Daily Mirror reveals that a painting kept in an attic for years and thought to be worth £300 has sold for £120,000. The 9-inch by 7-inch miniature of St. Peter was thought to be by a follower of 16th century artist El Greco. Auctioneer Richard Brommel of Charterhouse Auctioneers of Sherborne, Dorset, gave the work an estimate of between £300 to £400, but after advertising the sale to the trade, interest in the work took off. He commented that the owner would probably have accepted £500 for it before the sale. When I told him how much it had fetched, he said he needed to sit down. When he came off the ceiling, he was very, very pleased. It's never too late. The Daily Mail tells us that George Kirby, 103, and Doreen Lucky, 91, from Eastbourne in Sussex, will finally marry after first getting together 27 years ago. Between the two of them, the couple have had 7 children, 15 grandchildren, and 7 great-grandchildren. "I didn't get down on one knee because I don't think I'd have been able to get back up," said George. "I suppose it's about time, really. I don't feel my age. Doreen keeps me young." What a wonderful story. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll speak to you next time. Bye-bye.